Hello, it's been a minute.
Just a minute.
Just a minute.
A few minutes.
We're doing a summer recap video because we honestly didn't really put out any videos this summer.
So yeah, not really a summer recap, I guess more of a summer summary.
We used the van as much as possible this summer, which was awesome. Chris worked 24/7 getting it ready just for camping, and it has turned out amazing.
Yeah, I really couldn't be more pleased with the way it all worked out for the summer. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to go through and pull out a bunch of stuff, and because this isn't final, that most of the stuff we set up was for just so we can use the van
And a systems test.
And a systems
just
test.
Thinking through what we want, what we need, especially traveling with two large dogs.
You know, a lot of people get an idea of how they're going to build their van right up front, and they just roll with it, and that's the plan. We want to spend a little bit of extra time and effort and, unfortunately, money to make sure that that we've made all the considerations and that this is as livable as possible. You know, we're trying, for our sake and for the dog's sake, we're trying to minimize any inconvenience. We're, keep everything accessible and try to think through usage situations. And it's very limited space. And
oh yeah.
And it's only going to get more limited.
We don't even have our galleon or shower in, and it was already like, all right, who's getting ready first, because we can't both be getting ready at the same time.
Yeah, can't stand up in the same space.
Also, I think once we get the swivel seat in, it's going to be nicer, because right now the only spot we have to really sit on is our bed, which this isn't how it's going to stay forever. We just have everything's temporary right now. We have a board and we have our mattress on it, and it's a little bit wider than it will be, so still need to get it cut and get the cushions made, so we'll end up having the dinette set up.
And once we have the dinette, once it's all set up, we'll have some extra standing room.
Yes.
So sitting room, getting ready room.
Yes. So in this video, we're pretty much just gonna show you a couple of the things that we did to get the van ready, to get Serenity ready for camping. And then in part 2, we have a couple of clips from our first trip out in Serenity. And Chris did a great job. He did a lot of laser cutting, just what would you even call those, just to hang up the lights.
Oh, just the light.
And for the panel, he made a really cool temporary panel, which I love. So hopefully we can use this image in our final product as well. But yeah. In the image. So first thing that happened since the last video is pretty much we got our ladder finally after months and months of waiting.
It's the clutch criteria to have a conversion van. It's not a conversion van if you do not have a ladder on the side. So
yeah, so that was fun, and that was simple.
It's a nice one. It's an Al Van's ladder, and I could not be more impressed with the quality and how light it is, and even the installation was really quite easy. So I think it goes like so, or like so. I don't know. I mean, it has instructions. We'll read them.
So now we have a ladder to get up and clean the solar panels. It'd be way better if I were using it to get up on my sun deck. Let's do it. Let's put this thing together.
Boom.
Boom.
Take your boom.
This is the most organized I've seen Chris in ever since I've known him.
You never know what you actually need unless they tell you.
Because everything usually just kind of looks like this. Like, this is the typical.
So, it's less travel roads. You can find me on Tinder.
Wow.
I'm gonna start working out again.
He's kidding. He will not be on Tinder. And if he is, he'll have Tinder Gold.
I don't know. Starting to question my success the first time around. That looks really cool.
I'm keeping the dogs.
See a little owl.
Owl Vans.
Alright, so first step is to put both sides together. Is my sheet of plywood big enough? Oh, it just sounded okay. Just barely. This is our sweet ass ladder.
You can't say that.
This is our sweet butt ladder.
Thank you. Here we go. Let's put it on the van. You look like we mean business right now. Boss is peeking in. Here we go. Is it gonna hold? Yay! Yeah. Yeah, now we can clean the solar panels. We're mostly just doing this to share with our family and our friends, and just to kind of like a diary, I guess. It's the modern day diary.
Content creation is hard and it's time consuming. You know, this was a rush effort for us to be able to enjoy our van this summer. It's a big investment, and we wanted to be able to. We didn't want to have to wait till next year to really get into it. So,
but Chris did make his own batteries. And that was a pretty cool process, the way that you designed that.
So we designed the batteries so that they will be underneath the dinette footwell. We lose about 3 inches in height, but you know, to be fair, nobody's ever going to really stand in that area. In the van, every inch counts, and so this is a space that we could use for batteries. It gives us more room for water storage, and we have a substantial electronic system in the van. The idea is that we're going to be boondocking. We need to have enough power. We need to have enough water.
How much power? Okay, so anyway, whatever the number is, we have a buttload of battery.
A buttload of battery. It's a metric buttload.
A crap ton of batteries.
Because, you know, imperial system does not work as well as the metric. The way that this is designed is that all the wires are going to run up through the center, and they're going to come out in the back. And then we'll have the rear of our bench here. And then to keep the cells from moving, they shouldn't move because they are on neoprene, but to keep them from moving, we made these spacers that we're going to put some threaded inserts into the floor, and we will mount these brackets here. And then once the top is on the battery box, these won't have any room to move. To be fair, the battery box is built to such tight and specific tolerances that they're not going to move anyway. But better safe than sorry. Yeah, that's right. Some good stuff right here. Alright, we're prototyping the BMS brackets. These are laser cut. We'll probably end up 3D printing the actual brackets. So our batteries are 4 280 amp hour 12 volt cells that we're running a 12 volt electrical system for 1120 amp hours of fully charged battery. We utilize 280K battery cells. They're 3.2 volts each. Our batteries are very thin and long. The cells, we lined them up end to end so that they would extend the full length of the dinette area. We use 1/4 inch copper interconnects between each cell, and we're using overkill 120 amp hour BMSs. We could run 480 amps all out. We have nothing in the van that utilizes that. Our air conditioner is our highest drain device at 72 amps.
I think we mentioned it in the other video with the floor that we both got really sick at the beginning of summer. And so that basically put everything on hold for like 2-3 weeks. So we weren't able to go camping for our anniversary, which kind of sucked. COVID has kicked our butts. But Chris is still trying to do stuff.
What? I can't concentrate. I don't know how I'm going to get this done. Like, how do I get these holes? This hole, with the measurements from the van. It's not like I can just overlay them and. So I have to put it up there, drill the first 3, make sure that they hit, then go back, do the bottom 2, make sure they hit, do these, and then even then, still off just a little bit. So I have a couple that I can't use.
And there it is.
We have 650 watts of solar charging our 1120 amp hour battery. We were very excited on our first trip. We found that we can charge over 3,000 kilowatts in a day with our solar. We also have 2 30 amp Victron Orion DC to DC chargers, so to charge off the van alternator while we're running. We do have a high output alternator on the van, not a dedicated alternator, but it is high output, so we have plenty of electricity for boondocking, being out in the wild for a week at a time, and being able to work, run Starlink, run the laptops, run the cameras, charge the drones, do all the things that we have to do for this lifestyle. Coffee. To make coffee, primary number 1, espresso.
Did get an espresso machine for the van.
Did it come to? Did you already grab it?
No, did it come?
It was one stop away, like before we started doing this.
Oh. Nope, I haven't seen it. So I finally got to do something because of Chris's fantastic plan to make everything. I want to say mobile, but that's not the right word.
Mobile modular. That's, you don't want to be like. You watch a lot of the builds and people put things together like it's permanent, like you're never going to have to undo anything or change anything. And since this is all this is our systems test, everything, it can be changed. We've used riv nuts and threaded wood inserts across the whole build so far, just to make it so we can.
I got to put him in.
It's just so she put a
I
lot of
did
rib nuts
something.
in.
I did something. I'm
So-
a rib nut pro now. You can call me if you have any rib nut needs.
Rib nut McGee.
What is this, you ask? Chris child-proofed the drill for me, so I wouldn't drill through the van. It's working out. See? Oh, that burned my butt. Sorry, piece of metal just fell. Pardon me. There we go. All the holes are drilled. Time to take my little fancy. Hold on, I got this. It's a burring tool. So then we can put the rib nuts in. Perfect holes for the OCD. Last one. Here we go. Oh no. Just call me Rib Nut McGee. Since we're going to be traveling with Chloe and Duke, one of the most important things to us is to make sure that they're always comfortable.
If we're going to be traveling the country, which is the intention, we're going to want to see the sights. We're going to want to be able to go, to the Smithsonian or go to some, attractions. And we're not always going to be able to bring the dogs. So we want to make sure that this is going to be like an RV where it's climate controlled. And, so we invested a lot of money and effort into installing the AC system. We're doing it underneath the rig, unlike most of the ones that are, mounted to the top. So we're using undermount AC. That's basically the brand. for our purposes, it's supposed to be 20,000 BTUs, which is excessive. I guess we could refrigerate the dogs if we really wanted to. But this is also a dark gray van, and so we have found in our trips over the summer that it still can get warm. And our systems check kind of came through for us because we were able to look at where the AC outlets were going, where the air was going, and we initially just had them on the floor, which doesn't make sense. It's AC, cold stays low or heat rises, cold drops. It doesn't rise, it does the opposite of rising. So anyway,
today's science lesson with Chris.
You can see it up here. Is my pitting out. You can see it up here. That's one of our AC vents, and that's temporary. I just bought some hose to figure out where we wanted to have it all come out. And
yeah, that giant hose is not going to be a permanent fixture.
No. So, but and it works. And not only that, we Undermount AC has a optional thermostat through the company Switcheon, and major kudos to Switcheon. They do. I'm probably saying that wrong, but I think that's how you say it. It's a cellular controlled thermostat, so we can monitor the temperature while we're not in the van. And those guys over there, we run into a few issues, and they've always been really quick to address them. And we get frequent updates, and it's to the unit. And yeah, quite a great customer service experience with custom. It's not even English.
Welcome to my world.
A great customer service experience with the Switcheon folks. Couldn't be more pleased.
Is it true? Do we have AC?
It's nice cold air.
Wait. Ooh. So where is this actually going to go?
That's where it's going to be, but I have to. It's going to connect.
Oh.
And then run it up to the front.
I always think of a lot of how this works.
I probably look horrible.
You look like a working man.
It's been a rough day.
Backwards hat. Little 10 o'clock shadow.
Power hookups. That's how we met. It was a power hookup.
Let's find the flattest spot on this side. It's lower than I thought.
Uh-oh. Oh.
So
Just a few inches.
well, we're gonna use a hole saw, so that gives me the idea. So I can figure out where the hole saw is and bring it back. And apparently, you can't just angle it and look and see from one side to the other where the hole's gonna be.
And I'm sure you have a tool that's special for just that one job.
We probably could have used the laser and then brought it over here on the tripod, measured from the inside, and then brought it and set it down.
That sounds like a Chris thing. I don't know. Just kind of like eyeballing it sounds like a me thing.
It's just a brand new van. So. Fun stuff. Now we have two holes.
It is pretty toasty.
Our van is air conditioned. I mean, most vans are air conditioned, but ours is double air conditioned. Huh?
Why are you sticking out your butt?
I have to stick out my butt because it's all about the form. Because if I go like this, you see my love handle gooch out of. But if I stick out my butt with the proper form,
Okay.
the left handle is less obvious. As I say this, I'm all sweaty, so they're probably still apparent. But gotta think about the angles. Just drilling some holes, baby. Just drilling some holes.
There is a moment where Chris thought he didn't have enough wire, and apparently it's a really expensive wire.
It's like $60 worth of cable. I think we're gonna be too short.
to run the wire from the 30 amp external power plug to the inverter. I was, I think I bought like 20 feet, and it was down to the inches. Like there was probably maybe 2 inches left. But yeah, it worked out great. About perfect.
Will it be enough? Is it enough?
I think it is.
Yay! Success!
Got the water tanks in. We have 50 gallons of water.
Yep.
Let's go see what Chris is up to.
Do we have water? We have water! Ow! Oh, that actually feels really good. After 100 degrees every single day. Oh my gosh. Yay!
And so far, the water's just on the outside of the van.
Chris has been working nonstop for like the last 7 days. around
7
the clock.
days, like a month.
Well, a month, but I mean like literally nonstop. Maybe like 4 hours of sleep a night. We're just trying to get this ready for our camping trip. And we're almost ready.
But we do try to keep our water consumption to a gallon. So it'll be really nice when we have our sink in and our filter, and we can actually enjoy fresh water. And
Just so you guys are aware, because you can't see it on camera, there's a lot of this going on. Like I'm doing this. I'm going. There's a sink, and there's a faucet, and there's water, and we drink a lot of it, and it's magical fingers.
give me some magical fingers.
Power
Anyway,
hookup.
it was that week that it was over 100 every single day, from 100 to 105 degrees, and it was absolutely miserable, and we had so much to do. It's been 100 degrees every day this week.
It's very rough for living in Portland.
We're not used to this. It's like, where's the rain? I need time to acclimate. This is not okay. Trying to finish the water tank today.
Yeah. Oh, I guess that doesn't work with you. Let's go.
We say this, it's the middle of October in Oregon, and it's 84 degrees. Yeah. We're in the van, it's hot, I'm sweaty.
There's a nice breeze coming in.
There is.
Through my beautiful bug nets that I installed myself. Yeah, so Nature's Head toilet went in. We were gonna have to figure out a little system of how to do the coconut core because we didn't have anything large enough. Everything was going smoothly, and then I turned. I heard a waterfall. Like, interesting. There's no waterfalls in the area. I looked into the van, and you could see
this
this stream of water falling right where we had the AC next to the batteries. And I started breaking it apart, and I noticed the bottom was still completely dry. So it's still gonna grow more.
Well, at least those bricks go a long way.
Yeah. There's water going inside the van. A lot of it in the AC.
Yeah, okay, so the battery compartment has 2 openings in the top of it where the cords come out. Maybe a design flaw. And this was the first time filling the water. I had run the vents up into the top of the van over there. And I guess I could have ran them out through the floor. I didn't want to drill any more holes, so it was kind of just monitor the tank. And we were trying to get out of town. It was our first time taking the van out, and so it was rush. So I went inside to check on the. Did I go inside to check on the coconut core just to see what was going on?
Yeah.
With the water connected to the tank, and we have 2 tanks, and there's a connection between them, and they don't fill up equally. The one tank fills up before the other. You have to turn it off, wait for them to settle. I'm going to fix that in the next design revision. But the first tank filled up went out the top of the vent, dumped into the middle of the van. Luckily, our driveway sloped, so all the water ran to the front of the van. It was probably a good. It was well over a gallon. So.
Little FYI about Chris, that he is always calm in any situation, no matter how bad it is.
Yes.
And this is the first time that I've ever witnessed him freaking out.
Well, let's just. Batteries aren't cheap. The battery cells aren't cheap. The BMSs aren't cheap. So yeah, there's a little bit of a panic factor there. And we were supposed to go out, and so I was like, in my head, I'm like, we were already sick. We already missed what was supposed to be our first trip, and this is, this was going to be our big trip. But everything was fine. Got lucky. So design.
Yep.
Consideration. I have quite a few ideas on how to keep that from ever happening again. So we will incorporate those, and we'll make a video on it as well.
Yeah, we gotta, we said, we basically have to redo the whole thing. The whole thing's temporary, and then
Yeah.
But it'll be nice because feel like the hard stuff's done.
Yeah, I think that one of the things that we're doing that's different than what most people do is we are taking this opportunity. We're spending a little bit of extra money. We're going to have to do a few things over again. To ensure that this is a fully livable van. I mean, I guess lots of people live in their van. We want to do it. We want to do it with as few compromises as possible, and I think we're achieving it.
Yeah. And I did get to record a few things from our first trip out in the van, and that's in part 2 if you want to watch it.
Yeah, much less van stuff, more
just dog stuff.
Yeah. To be fair, most of our life revolves around the kids. So.
Yep, exactly. This is why we're doing this. Kind of. Part-time. We work hard to give our dogs a better life. Thanks for watching. All right, now go poop.
That was super creepy.
Go poop.
Showing off the booty is just part of a van build.
No, see, this is part of the problem, is that you keep ambushing me for stuff, and you're like, why don't we videotape anything? It's because you ambush me. You don't come in like, oh, what are you doing? Tell me about it. You're like, there's your butt.
Oh, hey, what are you doing?
Get bent.